How to attract effortless love and money. Today, I have a special guest, my beautiful mentor of 4 years, 101, Mai Wu, and she helped me stepping into the woman that is magnetic to millionaires proposals, money, effortless money, and my soul clients. So basically, to whatever I desired, whatever I desired, and I desired those things. So Mai, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ellie channel. I'm so excited that you guys are here. And my name is Mai Vu. I am a limitless mentor. I help women tapping into their hidden potential, the thing that they actually never know existed, bring that gift to the world and thrive, having successful relationship and business at the same time in the world of feminine power. We don't have to choose. And I would love for everyone to experience that, having it all visions. So excited to be here and connecting with everyone here.
Yes, it's super, super, super exciting. And we just want that more women know about this, know that this life is possible. And I just consider myself so lucky that Mai taught me how and showed me how to be magnetic. Because basically, when I first came to Mai, I just wanted to let go of my painful life of having no money and awful treatment and all of that. And I just didn't even know that there's so much more beyond that of just really living the best life in pleasure and still receiving so much love and money and effortlessly, not having to hustle for it. So, Mai, would you like to share a little bit of the difference, what women mostly think that they have to do to get love and money, and what really gets them into being magnetic and attracting that?
I think the first thing that a woman do usually whenever they have a goal, especially women that we actually work with, right? They are ambitious and they have a lot of success. They already have got a position in a corporate. They are executive level, they are CEO, they are leaders. So they already have gone through a lot of hard work to get to where they are. And they think that the next goal is uh, to whatever like they wanted to do next. It's actually about like doing more to have and trying to earn more, trying to prove the value, putting in more effort and actions. And that is actually a biggest trap I see a lot of women fall into. The trap is actions and working and hustling and strategy and all of that alone actually do get you to some places, actually get you to where you wanted to be. But then from then on, most often people would face an invisible glass ceiling, and that glass ceiling doesn't allow them to go further, or to work less and have the same equal amount of success. And that put them into stress and wondering like what's wrong with their worth, what's wrong, are they not enough, like they thought that they haven't done enough in order to get the thing. But it's actually not the problem of not doing enough. The problem is they are actually overdo a lot, and it is time to succeed differently. And that is where I pull in the concept of effortless attraction, and that come from you pulling into your life everything you desire. The thing is, the magnet isn't just about like calling in beautiful things. When you realize at the core of the concept, the magnet is you actually are the person who calling in like the good, the bad, the ugly, the man who doesn't treat you well, and the man who actually propose. Like all of that is actually just one common denominator, which is you. You are that lighthouse that you might calling in the boats that have the hole in the middle of the boat, or you actually might calling in the gigantic boat like a Titanic, right? So whatever that you calling in right now, it is not just action, it is basically who you are. There's so much textbook teaching people like how to do things to be successful, how to be a coach, how to earn this much money, how to run a business and do this. There is no textbook that teaching people how to be when those come, how to be before those come. So that is where I fill in the gap for people.
Absolutely. And this knowledge is so priceless. And especially when we want to go to the next level without working more and becoming next version. And I did this so many times with you, guiding me. We always face this down moment, right? And so many times I remember when I wanted to attract a man who is affluent, who is caring and loving. And what did I got? I got the opposite. And then luckily I knew with help of my how to work through that, and aligning myself to what I want, because it's not about doing more and like trying to be prettier for the guy. That didn't work. I tried.
And believe it or not, like when I first met Ellie, she wasn't looking this gorgeous. I mean, she was still a gorgeous woman, the gorgeous lady. But then at that time when I met Ellie, if you allow me to share, like I saw a very, beautiful internally, but I can see that there is a gloomy aura around her at the beginning, and that aura told me about her inconfidence and about her, like there was a kind of like a spell of the past that you can't get away from with all of the love, life, and the experiences you got with your family. And when I sit in that call, I remember like I was like, wow, I wish she would have see herself like how I see her right now, like in her glory, in her beauty. And I'm so glad that we get to go to that 4 year until during this year, like 4 years. I'm also just a coach for like 4 years. So basically, Ellie was my first, kind of one of the first clients, and then stay until now. And I'm so glad to be able to see and watch and witness and guide you throughout the whole transformations, from the place where you just cry nonstop just because of something happened, to now like really owning your personal power, owning everything that you have. That this is the testament. When you look at Ellie, I want you to look at the testament of like, you got that internal already. Every single woman, I believe you guys have that internal gems already. It just covered with a lot of actions, covered with a lot of not good enough feelings, covered with a lot of belief system that actually draw you away from what you want. So my only job here is to get you wake up to that fact and just stop doing whatever you're doing and thinking it's going to get you the goal. But really, like, you got to put your energy and the focus into a different kind of work, and that is internal work.
Absolutely. That is so internal work. And even before I met I was trying by myself for like 2 or 3 years. I was reading a lot of books. I even tried different coaches. Like before I was with you, I
Yeah.
tried different coaches too, where I just didn't feel like they can really help me, because they don't
Mm.
understand that I already know those things. I read the things that they teach me. So I was pretty good in like knowledge and reading, and I was always super good at school. So like those analytical things, I could understand them. And I was like reading the books. I knew this, but I also remember the first call, I was like, I know that I need to act differently and be different, but the
But I
reality
can't.
doesn't.
Yeah, but I can't get myself to the place that I can actually execute that. And there is a force. That force is like the force from the past, right? It just keep pulling us back to the past so strongly. Like, even though you know that you shouldn't text that guy, but then there was an urge internally, and it felt like a very like a kind of like a very uncomfortable, not twitching kind of in your belly. No, you should have text him to check up on him and see how it is going, and see if he already like thinking about you or not. And like those pattern and those programming was actually from maybe from your childhood, where you get to act and you get to be visible so that people don't forget you. Maybe your friendships, like, oh, if you don't, like, maybe you were so close with someone, with a girlfriend for like 3 months, it feels like a sister from another mother, and you can share everything, you love her to death. And then you gone for like 2 months vacation with family and come back, she already have like new friends and she forget about you. And that felt like, and in that moment you felt like, oh my gosh, I'm invisible. Oh my gosh, like if I were to be gone for like a hot second, then people would forget me. And that was the belief that you built based from those experiences. And no one in the adult at that time was able to tell you it's actually not right. It was just because that she doesn't she's not the right person who actually stay long for a relationship. She might be the person who are just happy with partying and just, you know, wanting to find different people all the time. It's not about you. Like today I went on a swimming, and my baby was like, Mom, I wanted to play with other people. And I was like, yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself and ask them to play. So usually in the pool with all of the kids out around you, it's very easy to find a friend. But today she came and she took the courage to approach a girl. And that girl was like about a year older than her. And then she asked like, would you like to play with me? And the other girl said no. And I can tell it broke her heart. I can tell like it really confused her. Like, why not? My mom told me that everyone loves me and want to play with me because I infused the belief system on her. So why don't she want to play with me? So she keep asking me like, Mom, why don't you want to play with me? Why don't you want to come with me? Is it like something wrong with me? Like 4-year-old girl, we already were very self-conscious about those people decision around us. And I keep affirming her, no, there's nothing wrong with you, baby. There's maybe something sometime that she just want to be alone, or maybe she's just shy and she doesn't know how to speak, and maybe she thinks that you don't know English. There's so much reason, but as long as you know that you're happy and you're good, like you can find a new friend right away, that's fine. It's not because that we need a friend, but it's just like it, like whatever their decision, it's not about you. So I keep like teaching her already about that concept, but it goes very deep, you guys. Like if you still have some sort of like a spell from the past that really shadowing you and making you having the same patterns and repeating, and you just try everything but it doesn't work out, then it is time to stop trying action externally, and it's time to really look deeper internally. And this is why I'm really big on advocating internal work.
Yeah, and that internal work just saves so much lifetime. Again, I was trying by myself for years and it just gave me knowledge, but not really results. And I remember when I was reading, for example, those dating books, like the rules and other dating books, I was trying to follow them, but it was so hard because I didn't embody the woman who was just unbothered if the guy is there or not. Like I'm this person now, I'm unbothered if he's there or not. But back then, no, I was like, okay, don't text him, don't call him. But I wanted to text and call him out of insecurity that he will forget about me. So exactly this example. And
But
the
then
same,
it feels like so natural, right? It feels like, oh no, it's like something like I've done for ages and I've never questioned it. And that's why it feel like it's a given. It feel like it's familiar. And that's why you cannot distinguish between like, what is the intuitive and what is like second nature. And if you fall for that trap, then you would always behave unconsciously and repeating the same story without knowing it. And then you ended up having the same result altogether.
absolutely the same result just kept repeating until I cleaned up the
Do
story.
you want to share with the audience is one of the same read that you got before? Like, I think it really good to let them know something that you already like have moved on from that.
Mm. So you mean my recent results?
No, like what, like one of the pattern that you broke before.
Oh, one of my big pattern was the inability to receive money. My whole
Mm.
family had like the pattern of inability to receive money. Like for some reason, they just could not receive money. Like there was something wrong with that. And I did not know why I had so much resistance receiving money. Like even if I did an amazing job as being a coach, or even before in other jobs, or even I was already attracting affluent men, every time they wanted to offer to pay for something big, I was like, no. If I didn't, sometimes I even
It's like
reject.
I'm allergic to receive like to receiving money.
Even if I had clients that I wanted to help, I was like, no, I can't take the money. But it was like, I can't help them otherwise, right? So I was
Yeah.
withdrawing from love even. And like in all areas, I was just having this huge pattern of the inability to receive money. It was, I think, partially unworthiness, but also some kind of hidden pattern of fear that there was something bad happening if I received the money. So my family lineage, they were in the communism. So I don't know, maybe it was this because my family actually is from Poland. So my mom and my aunt grew up even in communism still. So you
Mm.
were not allowed to have money, otherwise the
Yes.
government would
It
be
will be
mad
taken away.
and
Yeah.
taken away. And there was like a huge in me still. And I was like, I can't even tell you why this fear comes from it. I don't remember any traumatic thing where money just harmed me, but it was just so deep. And anything I did, no matter what, how much I tried at the job or how good I studied, I just could not receive the money. Even no matter how good as a coach I was, amazing testimonials I had, I just could not receive the money because of the blockage and the fear internally. And only when I worked through that, with of course the help of I was able to attract 2021, my first 10K month, month, and then recently like 10K days. And yeah, so that's like a huge step. And right now it feels effortless to actually attract the money in. So yeah, because the
Yeah.
fear
And
and the blockage is gone.
can you just tell like more about what kind of fear was it, like in more detail? Like what did you exactly walk through during the time? I think a lot of audiences would be really wanted to understand deeper.
Mm-hmm. So basically, when I was to receive the money, my whole body went into a fight, flight, freeze state of like really, it was a lot
Shaking.
shakiness and just freeze and like fear, just like fear kicking, deep fear, like in my bones. I could feel it in my bones, really deep fear where I couldn't breathe. And I
Mm.
just didn't know why I felt so threatened by money. So receiving money, why I felt so threatened by that. Um, and I worked through those limiting beliefs, for example, where I had the belief that, oh, if I receive money, I will get in trouble because my family and friends who don't have money will not love me
Mm.
anymore. So I will be abandoned for my family and friends. That was the limiting belief, which, by the way, didn't happen. I have now, they tell me now they're so proud of me. Like, this is so beautiful. And because I'm the first abundant, rich entrepreneur from the family. So
Wow.
um, then I also thought the government will take it away from me. Like I had the weirdest thoughts, like literally. But basically, I just had a fight, flight, freeze, stressful body response whenever I wanted to receive money, and it's just like my body thought, okay, if I receive money, I'm gonna be in pain, so I don't want any money. And the truth
Mm.
also is that where I grew up, where my whole family, even friends right now, whenever they go to work, they hate work. They don't like work. They are in pain, so they also try to not work at all, like the minimum amount. So maybe there are shifts when they are doing that, but that's all. And yeah, that was just a conditioning that I had to overcome. So basically, I did not want to be in pain, and that's why I was like, okay, if I have to be in pain, then I prefer to have no money at all. But then I had to switch. Okay, I can be in pleasure and receive the money, and I can be in happiness and receive the money. But it wasn't just a decision. I had to do a lot of inner work, a lot of um, my words are missing. Maybe you can continue the sentence.
it's it's a lot of things to explain. Like we have gone through like deep quantum healing, where so I also explained it in the magnet events, and it just got download for that one. So whenever you wanted to go to a big goal, if that big goal is done by a family member or something that you know, and it's kind of like leading to the edges, but it's not too big. For example, if you are earning about $10,000, and if your one of your cousin is already earning about 100K, then you can allow yourself to go there, and you only have to deal with like inner child healing, limiting belief, fear blockages, all of that life blockage. I call it life blockage, which is limiting belief, inner child, fear, and emotional blockage. Those combined make up dark shadow, the place where the part of you that you haven't accepted and owned and fully integrated, so that you can be fully seen and feel complete and whole in front of the world. So with that small goal, you can actually heal with those. But then with the bigger goal, the goal that go beyond the family achievement for Ellie is like the whole family was conditioned to not receiving big money. They actually have enough money to survive, which is their normal state, and that is so comfortable to be into survival, but it's so fearful to be outside of survival, which can be rich, crazy rich, or we can be like absolutely nothing, right? But their body cannot tell between the absolutely rich or like the nothingness. They just feel unsafe as long as you step out of that survival. So when you wanted to go for the goal that is beyond whoever in your family have got, it kind of really, it's kind of really challenge the family lineage belief system, or it can also challenge like generational traumas, can also challenge like emotions that actually being passing on. So if you are like a baby girl, so when you were in your mother womb, you know, like a baby when they are in a mom womb, they already have eggs. So basically your mom, when they were just a baby inside your grandmom's womb, she already are having a part of you already inside. So that DNA already in her. So whatever the feeling that grandma have would pass it on to the mom, and it would also pass on to Ellie. So when you actually want a goal that challenge all of that, which is I call it miracle goal, which get beyond everything that you expected, then you are going to face with a lot of crazy story and patterns that it really doesn't make sense, and it just doesn't tie back to any incident of experience of this lifetime of you, but it felt so true in the body. And one thing that I always remind my client is, if you don't remember doesn't mean it's not existed. You don't remember doesn't mean it not existed. You cannot recall those memories, you cannot recall those feeling, doesn't mean it's not inside your body. And our job is to always find the blocks to remove it before you actually be able to receive the goal easily, effortlessly. You can hustle, but then it's going to be a big fight between you and the past. Whereas you can actually pull in the focus to remove the past, then you immediately be transitioned into your future. And that is what we did with Ellie. So depending on the goal, depending on like the dream, at the beginning with Ellie, I do a lot of kind of like leading to Ash's goal. I did. She first session she told me I wanna have a million. I want to have a millionaire boyfriend, and also I wanted to make $10,000. I was looking at her, broken. I was like, okay, girl, you have big dreams, but let me bring you to maybe making your next month income and then be able to pay for the coaching first. And I was like, I was just guiding her step by step to get out of her survival and leading into the bigger circle of energy first. And then eventually when she's comfortable with that one, she become like really magnetic manifesto. She got everything she wanted at the comfortable space. Then I started to push her further and further into that zone. And then once we actually step out of that familiar zone into like from the magical to like the miracle zone, a lot of things started to happen, a lot of breakdowns started to happen. And by then we have to go sit down and dig deeper within herself, with family lineage belief, with the emotional trauma that you've been passing on from generation to generation. It also can be past life experiences. There are many factors. So I want to lay it out here for you guys. They are stages and there are steps to what you want it to be, and where you want it to go. So it's really up to you to recognize what kind of goal are you setting, and where are you right now, and what really required for this to work.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I believe so many women, they are just trying so hard, and even they blame themselves for not being able to take enough action, not having enough action, and feeling just so frustrated. But really, it's just a lot of the times, most of the times, just internal blockage that needs to be solved. And everyone who is watching, I want to invite you to my event. You are the magnet, right?
Yeah, it's actually what I just share is a snippet of what I'm sharing inside the event, because inside the event I will show you the circle and where you go. We want to go through an activations for you to understand where your goal are and how to actually normalizing big numbers, because for some people with the condition that they are setting, even though the people, even though the internet would say like you have to set a number of goals, so like you have to have a check of $100,000 on your bed so that you manifest that, it actually doesn't work to every single person. Some people look at the numbers, would freak out and got freeze up. So you got to understand like how do you manifest through the energetics and be able to call in what you want. But before that, you got to understand like it's who you are. So how do we remove the wrong attractions? How do we make sure that we always attract the right thing? Just like Ellie just messaged me this morning, like I decided this and I got this, like immediately I was like, of course you are. So yeah, it's so fast. This work is so fast. It's also because we do a lot of dark shadow work internally, which is data, and then we ended up with a lot of activation and like really bigger space of like how do we go from here, like what kind of goal is it, and then what require for you to really work on in order to bridge the gap, not just daydreaming and wishing, but like what actual steps internally to go there. And I'm really good at that. I'm freaking good at that. I'm really good at laying out like actual steps so that people know what to do. Just like Ellie explaining it, she was like, I don't know what I did, but I know exactly what we did. This is my gift. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining Mai and sharing with the ladies. The link for the You Are the Magnet Masterclass will be in the comments or in the description box. So make sure to click and sign up. It's completely free for you to join and you don't want to miss that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and thank you so much, Mai, for joining. Bye-bye.
I just want to correct this one. It's not free, but it's feel like a free because it's only $7. It's free for Ellie, of course, because she's my one-on-one. It's only $7, equal to like 2 cups of coffee. The reason is it's part of the paid container. It's very but I wanted to open it up for women, and I believe that with the worthiness, we don't want it to buy free stuff. It's not we deserve more than that, right? But the $7 can actually buy you confidence, can actually buy you knowledge that really change the way you look at things and stop you from feeling unworthy in your life. So go ahead, bit.ly/magnet dash 2023, and the link is going to be in the comment section of the show notes.
Don't even like come close to the value of that. And yeah, it doesn't. It's like it's just all right, ladies.
It's like a coffee with a cake and then enjoy your time, but like it's a next level experiences that I'm so excited to bring to people, and it's starting on Monday, so you wanted to jump in right now.
Bye everyone.
Bye.